Welcome to Subramani. I've been talking a lot about post-retirement fund management because the post-retirement fund management is a far greater challenge than accumulation phase fund management. So the first question that comes to your mind as soon as you retire or as soon as your income ceases, which means could be age of 65 or something, active income ceases, then you have to live off your portfolio, correct? Now, should you choose multi-asset funds? For example, if there is a fund which invests in gold, real estate, equity, Indian equity and foreign equity, should you choose such a multi-asset fund, or should you choose separate discrete assets like you have Indian equity, Indian debt, foreign equity, gold, maybe some real estate, right? You choose discrete or should you choose multi-asset? Now it's a function of many things. One, do you know how much or what percentage of each one you should have in your portfolio? If you know that, maybe a multi-asset fund could also be useful because the fund manager will decide how much to keep in Indian equities, how much to keep in foreign equities and how much to keep in debt. Let him take the call, especially if you are happy with the percentage that this multi-asset fund is going to put. The problem is there are many multi-asset funds. In fact, every AMC has a multi-asset fund and each one has a completely different purpose. One multi-asset fund could be just to improve the return on your debt instrument. So it could be 60-70%, maybe 80% debt and 20% equity. Or it could be 60% equity or 65% equity, 20% gold and another 15% of debt. All these possibilities are there. When you choose multi-asset funds, suppose you choose 2-3 multi-asset funds, it means you know what you want and you want to put money into these multi-asset funds, and after 3 years start doing a drawdown from that. That is one thing you can do. Or you can say, I will do it discreetly. I will decide how much to be in equity, how much in gold, how much in bitcoins, how much in real estate. Let me take that decision. Both are right. Only thing is there are some advantages and some disadvantages. Looking at the advantages, it means you might, suppose you do not like the debt fund in which you have invested, you can change the debt fund manager. Maybe your equity is doing well, your gold is doing well, so you don't want to make any change, but in your debt fund you want to make a change. That is possible. Whereas in the multi-asset fund, you have to only look at the overall return and you do not know whether the overall return is good or bad because of which portion of the asset class. That's very difficult to analyze and almost impossible to react. What will you do if you like a fund house, the way they handled equity, the way they handled the gold, but you don't like the way they handle debt? You really can't do much because it's a multi-asset fund. You have taken the whole package. You have to be happy that the whole package is delivering, or you have to be sad that the whole package is not delivering, therefore you get out. So the second more important thing is also, when a multi-asset fund shifts from equity to debt or debt to gold or gold to equity, there is no tax implication for you. Luckily in India, mutual funds are taxed only when you sell. It doesn't matter what the fund manager does. So when the fund manager does this maybe 2-3 times in a year or maybe 12 times in a year, every month he does a rebalancing. So there is a monthly rebalancing. You don't pay any tax because of that. So if you are a 63-year-old or a 65-year-old investor and you have invested in a multi-asset fund saying, okay, after 10 years I will use this money to buy an annuity, at least you are clear what you want out of that. But in those 10 years, assuming that there were 5 shufflings a year, it means 50 shufflings for you were tax free and done by a professional. He may be right, may be wrong, but at least it was done by somebody else. If you were to do it yourself, you have to assume that you know how to do it and that you are very, very efficient and you do it systematically and perfectly. Third, that you are not too much worried about the taxation. Now this could be wrong because you could be paying a lot of short-term capital gain every time you shift, because this is going to be like a debt fund from a tax point of view. So having said all that, there is plus and minus, and like I said, there is a very good tax efficiency for going for a multi-asset fund, but the flexibility of a discrete fund is also there. So you could do a combination of saying, I will be invested in A, B and C multi-asset funds. Apart from that, I will also have the following discrete holdings. Somewhere I avoid tax, somewhere I pay tax, so I will do a combination. Please also understand that all this is good fun, and if you enjoy it, but after a particular stage you may not be enjoying it. You may not, the fund manager who was doing the asset allocation in the multi-asset fund may leave. So the risks increase in a multi-asset fund, whereas in a discrete fund it is completely up to you. Here the risk increases after a particular age, when you think that you are doing a good job but you are not doing a good job. For somebody it could happen at 70, for somebody it could happen at 75, for somebody it could happen at 80, and for somebody, hold your breath, it could happen at 68, right? So you have to, there is a set off between how simple you want it to be, how complicated you want to be, how much of tax you want to pay, and how much involved you want to be, because that's also important. Do you want to be involved, or you just want to say, I'll put it in one place and let me decide on the removal after 10 years. So I'm 65, I'll put it in a fund. At 75, I will use that to buy an annuity. That's also possible. That's also a good strategy to follow. But then you will have to somehow remove money from your age of say 73 or 72 instead of just at the age of 75. Or you say, I will buy an annuity only when the markets are doing very well, because in a multi-asset fund, defining what the market will do is very difficult, because equity may be just 30% of it, right? So you have to check for your own personality, your own tax situation, your willingness to handle all the complexities, and the fact that if something goes wrong in one of the asset classes, in one of the multi-asset fund, you will still come out. Or you will take a decision saying, I don't mind I don't mind staying there, because overall I'm happy with the 12% return or the 11% return which I am getting. So the other advantage of a discrete fund is you can increase your amount in debt or reduce the amount in debt and increase the amount in equity depending on the market situation. In a multi-asset fund, that is what the fund manager is supposed to do. So if you are not happy that he is aggressive enough, or if he is trying to control volatility, see, there are two things which are important in a portfolio which is being used for retirement, that is, you are using it for withdrawal. It is not so much of concern when you are 30 years, but it is of great concern when you are 70 years or even 65 years. You can either be very aggressive and say, I don't really care, I have so much money that I don't care about the short term movement, I will always take a 5-year, 10-year view, because after me my children want this money. Assuming you're single and your wife and you, maybe there are two of you, and you don't have children, and so then you look at it very differently. You say, why should I be aggressive? Let me give up my let me not give up my peace of mind. Let me withdraw as and when I want, and anyway I have enough money, so I will not bother. So you will be trying to make your portfolio less volatile, whereas if you want to leave behind for your children, you may want to make it more volatile. So the question is, what is the set off between the two? Secondly, the fund manager's asset allocation is something which you may not be very impressed by. So you may want to say, okay, some money can be in multi-asset fund, but I also want to have discrete funds where I will decide that I will put more money in equity exactly at a time when markets are going up. Completely, perfectly all right. You can take a contrarian view to what the whole market is doing. So those kind of choices are less available with multi-asset fund than with a discrete fund. So comes to the question is, what is your personality? Do you want to do it yourself? Are you worried too much about tax efficiency? Are you looking for a more volatile asset class, or are you happy with a less volatile asset class? How is your spouse going to handle the whole thing in case you are not there? A lot of men like to create very complicated portfolios, but their wives come and say, no, just sell off everything and put it in a bank account, and I'm very happy with that. So both are right. I'm not getting into who is right and who is wrong. So the question is, you, based on all this, you take a decision as to how much money should be in multi-asset fund, who should be the fund manager, what will you do when the fund manager resigns or dies or changes his job, right? Any of those things will happen. Or do you want a lot of discrete holdings, or do you want a combination of the two, because you will also have to mix it with the bucket style of investing. And how will your spouse react to this if you are not around and she has to manage it herself? Based on all this, you decide how much money you want in multi-asset funds, how much you want into debt, equity, large cap, mid cap, and that kind of a breakup. How much in short-term debt, how much in long-term debt. Based on all this, you take a decision. If you think this is overwhelming and very complicated, look for an advisor who is perhaps in his 50s or 60s. Take his help, see how much he has done, see what he is suggesting. Ultimately, you are responsible for your asset allocation and the return and the risk in your portfolio. So act accordingly. Thank you.